Welcome back to the whole home. I have just food shopped for our family of 5 for a week. I've got my coffee and I'm going to take you through everything we bought and spent and what we are planning to do with it to feed our family of 5 on our £500 a month food budget, which is everything we eat and drink, from coffee to food out to food at home, the whole lot. I'm going to show you what an actual week's shop looks like to make that happen practically here in the south of England. If you are new here, hi, welcome to my little kitchen. I am Kezia, and my goal on the internet is to make lower footprint, sustainable living feel a little less complicated and a bit more budget friendly. And food is a struggle. Is a £500 a month budget easy? No. Is it a juggle? Yes. Is it getting easier? No. Food is not getting any cheaper. And my 3 growing kids are definitely not eating any less. So this is a routine that we have tightly managed to make it work without driving us completely crazy. And I'm going to show you what it looks like on an average week. I will then take you through the week in a separate video, so hit follow if you want to see that. I will do a what we ate in a week so you can see how this food practically translates to actual day-to-day eating, because I think sometimes it can be hard to see how one gets to the other. So we will do that too. And I will show you the cost up here of everything we bought so you can see how it adds up. Numbers wise, £500 a month means £125 per week. That breaks down to about £18 a day or £6 a meal. I don't know how we managed to make that work, but somehow when you add it all together and cook in bulk and center the meal plan around the more frugal ingredients, we make it work. Always the start of the week is a meal plan. This is essential to me. I meal plan to not go crazy, to have it all planned out in one go, and then just the meal plan tells me what to do through the week. I also do it for buy-in from the kids. So we did it this morning over breakfast. I pulled this out. People threw in their meal suggestions. Also in meal planning, we are looking at centering our meals around the foods that here, for us, that work for our life, we can get more cheaply. So a lot of our meals you will see center around pulses, beans, simple grains and things like that, because that is the way that we can make this budget work for our family. And then the other reason we do it is because a big part of being sustainable with food is not wasting food. One third of the food grown and produced globally is wasted, which shocks me. Just very simply, without changing anything that we actually eat, to put together a meal plan and make sure that nothing gets wasted is a massive way that we can be more sustainable in our kitchen. So that's another reason we do this, to incorporate things like leftovers meals, to make sure that if we're cooking something, it's actually going to get eaten. Then we can note where we're hosting people or where we're out. So we're actually buying the right amount of food, cooking the right amount of food, making sure it all gets eaten in the context of our life. So that is why a meal plan is the most essential part to me of doing this. So the meal plan this week, today is actually the first day of the meal plan. I was sick the last few days. Today was like, use whatever we have, just get through today, and then we'll start with the new food tomorrow. The meals that we have down for this week are bean and rice bowls, nice and simple, chicken noodle soup, red lentil soup with foraged nettles, some pizza, we always do that, bagel breakfast sandwiches, mac and cheese with foraged wild garlic, tacos, and then some eggs, toast, waffles, and things like that. Leftovers lunch. I got this one wrong. As soon as I shopped, I realized I'm actually hosting 2 mums and 2 toddlers on this day, so we're going to rework that. And I've bought the food I have, so we've got to work with what we have, but we will find a more hosting-ish meal than leftovers for there. And then I've noted down here cookies. Cookies are the one kind of like treat, desserty thing I'm going to make that can go in lunch boxes. It can be had at home. And that is the meal plan. And this is what we got. So budget for the month, £500. That covers everything we eat and drink. It also covers our bulk flour. So down here I have 2 big 25-kilogram bags of bulk flour. We buy those every few months. And the other thing, weirdly, that comes from our food budget, just to make it make sense in how we get food into our kitchen, is that we have ducks in our back garden and they give us a few eggs each day, just about enough to cover our family's needs. So their organic duck food also comes out of our food budget because that's why we have them. That is everything that comes out of our food budget. It means we don't eat out very much because there is not much wiggle room, but we would rather stay on budget and have it all work. Let's dive into what we got. So I center these meals around pulses, the vegan protein, the beans, the pulses, the lentils, all things like that. And I, as much as I can, try to go to a local bulk shop. We absolutely do go to the supermarket, but I think a supermarket is not often the most sustainable in terms of waste, in terms of the way that farmers and things are treated with pay and contracts. So as much as we can, we try to go a little bit more local and shop companies that are being a little bit more careful about where things are coming from. So we have a local independent female owned bulk shop, and that is where I got all of our bulk goods as much as I could this week. So we start with pasta. I actually got 2 bags, so we've got just over 1 kilogram of whole wheat pasta. Whole wheat penne pasta. That will become 2 days worth of a mac and cheese, a macaroni cheese with some foraged wild garlic in it, and we'll put lentils on the side. Kilogram of pasta with sides should do about 2 meals for our family. Then we got a basmati rice, £3.30. This is going to go with beans. We'll do just simple bean and rice bowls with some roasted veg or some wild garlic, some cabbage, things like that. Really frugal. We'll add the beans in for protein, but that is what that will be. So brown rice. Then in here we've got, probably I bought a few too many beans. We've got 6 pounds 17's worth of red kidney beans there. Those will go in the bean and rice bowls, and then I think we also have tacos in here as well. So we'll do beans as the protein in those. Then when we do a pasta dish, I try and put some lentils on the side. All of our family loves lentils, and these are the ones that I get. People always ask how we cook them. I cook them very, very simply. They are the dark speckled lentils or pui lentils, and I don't do much to them. I think these lentils, dark green pui lentils, are the most tasty. So those are the ones I get. They're a little bit more expensive, but they come with a lot more flavor, so then I have to do less to them. And then we just cook them, boil them, bring them down to a simmer, add salt, and that is all we do. You can turn them into a really nice cold salad with a dressing and some greens. But 1 cup of those cooked packs about 18 grams of protein, so a great way to increase the protein of something that maybe has less protein in. So that's that. Far too much sugar. I want to wake up our kombucha. We have not been doing very much with over the winter. The house was really just too cold to be making it, but we're gonna bring that back to life. So I bought some sugar to bring that back to life this week, with it being a little bit warmer, and also to go in the cookies. It's just a granulated sugar. And then lastly, some red split lentils. Those will be a soup with nettles in it. So then I did the supermarket. So these are right next door to each other, which makes it easy. So it's not actually that much to do that and a supermarket. We got some fair trade chocolate. So as well as trying to get food on the table, we are trying to be as sustainable, fair trade, ethical in the way that we shop. There are many ways people could criticize the way that we feed our family in terms of those values, but it is about doing what we can and doing our best with what we have. And this budget is a juggle. So fair trade, dark chocolate. Chocolate is one of the things where if we're going to eat it, it is going to be fair trade. That's just a non-negotiable because we don't need it. So we've got some fair trade dark chocolate to go in cookies. Then we've got 3 blocks of this organic vegan butter. The family all loves it. It tastes so similar to butter, and it is a lot cheaper than organic butter. So I often go for that one instead, especially if there is an offer on it, which there was not this week, but there we go. Then we do a veg box. The veg box is not a frugal way to shop at all, but it's something that we do because the values are important to us. Supermarkets waste so much food in terms of what's like wonky or ugly or doesn't get used or things like that. And so choosing a veg box that really is very, very careful about waste, is very careful about how farmers are paid and how contracts are done, and about sourcing and about no air freight and being more environmentally friendly and careful of people in so many different ways is so important to us that we make room to do a more ethical, sustainable veg box. But then we also do some bits on the side. When we have more growing in the garden, we won't need to do more on the side, but here we go. This is where we are at in March. To big things of easy peelers, which the kids will devour, as we will. Then what else do we get from the supermarket? We've got 2 liters of organic milk. You can easily do mac and cheese from vegan milk. We switch it up. I went with that one this week. And then also so much cheese. This cheese will probably go into next week. I bought 1.5 kilograms of cheese because of the different meals that we've got there. So we're doing pizza, we're doing mac and cheese, which again, you can do without cheese. You can do it in a vegan way, but we're not this week. A lot of cheese. Not organic. Organic cheese is not in my budget. What else? Okay. Then all the kind of toppings and everything needed restocking. So we've got jam, that was on special, so we grabbed that one. Then some almond butter. My husband can't do peanuts, so we do peanut butter. We've got some left in the cupboard, but he needs something that is not peanuts. And then passata, organic passata, that will be pizza sauce. I already used this coconut milk to make lunch today. We made a curried pumpkin soup. It was delicious. That was that. Then coconut oil for cooking, for quick treats to put in the freezer, for chocolate sauce, for waffles, things like that. That's there. 3 cans of sweet corn, 4 chicken taco soup. Those are the spices that we use for so many things: smoked paprika and cumin. Side note, I always look at this food and go, how is this feeding our family for the week? But along with the bulk flour, which then becomes all of our sourdough, waffles, pancakes, tortillas, wraps, all of those kinds of things, bagels, and with the eggs that aren't here but are included budget-wise, and with a bit of foraging, somehow it works. Marmite, because we're in England. Honey, nothing special, just honey. Okay, then, so that is all of our supermarket, all of our bulk shop stuff. And then we do the veg box, which the 2 main veg boxes, which I keep meaning to do a comparison, the 2 that I think really have the best values are Riverford and Able & Cole. Their prices are not that different. Their values are very, very similar. The 2 biggest differences that I think are that Able & Cole, you can alter what's in your box, which is big to me because I don't want artichokes. There's certain things I just don't use very well. So you can alter what's in your box. You can also do more additions with Able & Cole. So Riverford, you can add things on, but there's not a lot that you can add on, whereas Able & Cole, and I don't use that a ton, it's where it tends to get really expensive, but it's just nice to have a bit of variety if we need to grab something else that we can add on to the box. But really changing the box contents is the number one thing. Riverford, I think the plus of Riverford is they are more the ones that lobby Parliament. They're the ones that really work to change the laws on these things, on things to do with food and farming. Able & Cole always come and kind of co-sign and back things up and stand right with Able & Cole, but if you're like, I want my veg box, I don't care about substitutions, and I want to be closest to the people who are really campaigning to make a difference, then it's going to be Riverford for you. Otherwise, they really are very, very similar. So let's get inside these boxes. Okay. This feels like probably of all of these things, the treat item of the whole shop. I love this yogurt so much. It is the thickest, creamiest organic yogurt. It's local milk. I just love it. So that is more expensive than it needs to be, and it's like a treat. We don't eat a ton of meat. Getting organic or better raised meat on our budget is very difficult. So we don't do a lot, but I do often get these carcasses. Carcasses are often just tossed out, and the amount of meat that is left on these carcasses will make, I think it's like about 4 pounds for the 2 organic. There's a ton of meat that still is left on them after they've taken off the different cuts, and that will make a great 2 meals worth of a great chicken taco soup. So, such a budget-friendly way to do meat, something that's often wasted, so we love getting those. Second box is all the veg. We will, like I said, supplement this in the summer. We supplement from the garden. We'll have tons of peas and green beans and things like that in the garden. In this kind of time where we've only really got rocket in the garden right now, but we can forage wild garlic, we can forage nettles, so we'll supplement a bit like that. And then through the winter, we do a bit more of buying a little extra fruit and veg. But let's see what's in this week's box. I did choose it, but can I remember what's in it? Absolutely not. Okay, coffee. Some kale. This will probably cook up and put in the rice and bean bowls. We'll make it crispy and yummy and salty, and that will go in bean bowls. leeks, which I probably looked at these and thought we would make a leek and potato soup, and I did not put that on the meal plan. So we will probably actually adjust something and do a leek and potato soup instead of one of the meals on the meal plan, which will let us save something for the next week. 2 cabbages. These will become slaw. We make a slaw with mayo, yogurt, smoked paprika, apple cider vinegar or kombucha, and put it alongside our bean bowls. Gets a little extra protein, some more veg. So that is what will happen with both of those yummy cabbages. Okay, what else is in here? We have got courgettes. We might add them into the mac and cheese along with the nettles. My daughter requested grapefruits, which I love. I don't know if she will actually love, but we've got a good number of grapefruits in there. I love just peeling them like an orange. So good. Then we've got a bag of potatoes, which will either go on that hosting day alongside maybe a frittata potatoes, we'll see, or we'll do a leek and potato soup with those. Carrots, oranges, more oranges, and apples, and that is the veg box. This is why I look at it and wonder, how does this feed our family for a week? But it does. If you want to see how it feeds our family for the week, hit follow, and the next video will be how this turns into a week of eating. Obviously, it's not just this. I've got things in my cupboards. I didn't need to buy coffee this week because we do one of these about every other week, and I bought that last week. So we can have coffee this week because that is left over. And I didn't need to buy the oats for granola because we've got a big thing of oats for granola. It's not just this food that's going to feed us this week. Some of this will be left over, some of it won't. But that is a week. That is what it looks like, centered around beans, grains, a bit of foraging, and eating every single thing we have bought. So we've worked in leftovers meals on the meal plan so that literally every bite gets eaten. Every single bite, because that makes such a difference. Nothing getting wasted means less food needs to be bought, which changes the budget so much. That is a week of eating in our home. If you want to see how we get to our food budget and how we work our food budget in the context of life and our wider budget, this video here on how much should we be spending on food is a look at how different people break it down, and then how we break down our budget to look at how much we should be spending in different phases of life. My kids are eating more. Are we going to need to up our food budget? This is how we will figure that out. And if you want to see how we make a meal plan to save money, stay on budget, put together budget-friendly meals, that video is here. Anyway, thanks for joining. I hope that that is helpful to see a week of shopping for a family of 5 on a £500 a month budget. And I will see you again in another video sometime soon.